You're listening to the Peasinner Network. For more great podcasts, go to peasinner.com.au.
Peasinner
and Co.
Hello and welcome to Best Left Forgotten, the deliberately uncanon and unofficial Forgotten Realms D&D actual play podcast. My name is Nathan Quadrio and I am your Dungeon Master.
My name is Miriam Feats and I play Clarabelle Trollbleeder, the Dwarven Barbarian.
My name is Jess Wolfendale and I play Flick Goldkind, the Gnome Druid.
This is a very special episode of In Case You'd Forgotten, where we relive the experiences of Season 1 of Best Left Forgotten and get you ready for the mad antics of Season 2. If you're joining our podcast for the first time, the recaps are a great place to get you up to date and ready to jump into our latest season. In case you'd forgotten, in our first season, Flick the Gnome Druid and Clarabelle the Dwarven Barbarian began their journey in the rundown settlement of Leylon, assisting a ragtag camp of the Lord's Alliance. Here they met Dominic Drumwillow, his hodgepodge group of colleagues, and of course, his impressive superior, Silda Hallwinter. It was Silda who charged the girls to seek out a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker and set them out on the journey that they traversed over for the rest of the season. There were many mysteries that Flick and Clarabelle were on the track of throughout our season.
Where was Gundren Rockseeker and who was the Black Spider?
What were the secrets of the mysterious spell plague and the plague-changed creatures it was creating? And how were they connected to those strange blue orbs?
What secrets lay within the mysterious Wave Echo Cave that Sildar, the Rockseeker brothers, and the dreaded Black Spider seemed so interested in?
Where is Sticky?
Along the way to Gundren, and under the threat of the spell plague, Flick and Clarabelle met a slew of other kooky and charismatic characters that aided them on their journey.
Woody the Minecart and the strange arcane bat that helped the girls find iron for the encampment at Leylon in exchange for a mysterious future favor.
Sticky and Icky, the goblins who reluctantly assisted the girls in the rescue of Sildar from the plague-changed bugbear Klarg, and then later returned high in the mountains to help Flick and Clarabelle retrieve a dangerous sword from the crypt of Saloon.
Toby Stonehill, the irritable and surprisingly stealthy innkeeper of the Stonehill Inn in Phandalin, who sheltered the girls and Sildar throughout the season, and also sent Flick and Clarabelle on the quest that had them first hear whisper of the ominous Black Spider. Callie Willowboot, the kind and easily exasperated druid that the girls rescued from a green dragon and agreed to meet again at a convening of the Emerald Enclave in the Neverwinter Wood. Nundro and Tharden, the brothers of Gundren. Nundro, who Flick and Clarabelle rescued from the crazed clutches of an overworked retirement home activities manager, and the plague-changed mimic eating the residents, and Tharden, who they rescued from the exasperating clutches of the Red Wizard Hamoon, whose ramen-named zombies drove everyone batty, and who the girls gave a sword of unknown power and most definitely nefarious and ominous purpose. And finally, Gundren Rockseeker, the man the girls spent the majority of the season searching for. There were, of course, many other distractions and dangers that delayed our girls along their path.
The goblin horde that was searching for water, housing, and agency against the Red Wizard Hamoon high in the mountains, and for whom Clarabelle misguidedly believed she became some kind of savior.
The Sons of Alagondar that were searching endlessly for the true King of Neverwinter, and to whom Flick attempted to teach the merits of a democratic political system.
A solitary blue door belonging to the wizard Mordenkainen that led to nowhere, bearing a symbol of strange rings and seeming to promise arcane secrets, and that our girls left a note on for later.
And the blue orbs and flames that seemed to be connected to the dreaded spell plague, the magical sickness spreading across the Forgotten Realms. Partway through our season, Flick and Clarabelle took an orb for themselves that soon began to plague them with strange dreams of music and power beyond their understanding.
All these hijinks and mysteries came to a head in the final 3 episodes, and there were certainly some wild highs and lows for Flick and Clarabelle.
In episode 8, Flick and Clarabelle had finally located Gundren Rockseeker in Cragmore Keep, and were both attempting to rescue him. Clarabelle from the outside, along with Sildar Hallwinter, Dominic Drumwillow, and other members of the Lord's Alliance, and Flick alongside Gundren, having Misty stepped into the tower in an attempt to escape from the inside out. The 2 heists, forward and reverse, ended in a fierce confrontation with the Black Spider who, enhanced by the spell plague, put up a deadly fight against the girls and the Lord's Alliance. Victory was won, but at the cost of the life of Dominic Drumwillow.
Episode 9 found our party on the road to Wave Echo Cave, the mysterious location that both the Lord's Alliance and the Black Spider had been attempting to access. Before they could enter, Flick, Clarabelle, Sildar, and other members of the Lord's Alliance were pulled through a portal by an illithid in purple robes and found themselves in a dark void filled with floating rocks and terrifying creatures. In search of a tether to destroy, in order to make their way back to the material plane, the girls found themselves confronted by the symphony, a cacophony of strange voices and haunting melodies that echoed the songs of the orb. These mysterious entities tried their thrall on Clarabelle and almost succeeded, inviting both her and Flick to join the symphony. Dark shadows stalking above the girls that Flick didn't trust ended with Clarabelle breaking the tether and returning everyone to Wave Echo Cave, though a conversation with the cleric Cecil of the Lord's Alliance revealed that these creatures from the void could be trying to break through to the material plane, and it appeared that the symphony was not finished with our girls yet.
In episode 10, Flick, Clarabelle, and the Lord's Alliance finally made their way into Wave Echo Cave. After some preliminary exploration that nearly saw the girls dead at the hands of a plague-changed flaming skull, the party took some well-needed rest, and Flick took a moment with the orb. Gundren, worried about Flick's motivations, revealed the nature of the plague-changed beings that had themselves been corrupted by other orbs and flame, creatures whose powers were enhanced, but whose minds were lost to the spell plague, a future that awaited Flick if she continued to reach out to the power within the orb.
The next day, the party found its way further into the depths of Wave Echo Cave, and on the trail of the secrets of Gauntlgrim, and discovered a room full of statues of evil gods, including Asmodeus, master of the Nine Hells, chained and postured as though they were holding back some force or threat. Examining the magic of the room led to what Sildar and the Rockseeker brothers had been searching for, the Forge of Spells. The party relit the forge at the urging of Sildar and Gundren, only to discover it had also been plague-changed, and they were once again thrown into deadly combat. During the fight, Flick, Clarabelle, and many of their companions found themselves on the edge of death, and in the heat and the chaos of battle, Sildar Hallwinter was lost. It was also in the heat of battle that Flick, seeing her companions, and seeing Clarabelle, faltering under the power of the forge, turned to the orb, reaching toward the blue flame within the orb and the magic it promised, and despite the risk of becoming plague-changed herself, Flick sparked a connection, and through its magic was able to cast the spell that felled the plague-changed forge.
After the battle, the party mourned the loss of Sildar, and Flick and Clarabelle were approached by Gundren with gifts from their fallen companion, a ring of animal friendship for Flick, and a maul for Clarabelle, capable of dealing magical damage, including additional fire damage to its targets, and for both, an offer of membership as cloaks of the Lord's Alliance.
The girls ended the season with new gifts, lost friends, and the memory of that strange blue flame, dancing in the orb and reaching out to Flick as she made her fateful connection. You've been listening to Best Left Forgotten. You can find and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Best Left Podcast and on our Best Left Forgotten Facebook page, where we post updates, info, and additional content. Music by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Full song lists and additional artists can be found in the episode description. Cover art by Cattywampus, who can be found on Fiverr. Thanks to Jess Wolfendow, our editor, Miriam Feats, our social media manager, and Nathan Quadrio, our GM and producer. If you enjoyed our podcast today, please leave a review and tell your friends.